I've been wanting to make this video for a long time because, well, on paper it just makes 100% sense why Chaos Reach would simply be the undisputed best subclass for Trials, and stacking them only makes things worse for whoever is unlucky to match into your team of triple laser beams. Initially I asked, is this just not as broken as I think it is in theory, or do people just not know about it yet? And as time has gone on throughout the season, it is starting to become blatantly apparent to me that people just didn't know about it yet. You can see people starting to figure it out too. I mean, double Chaos Reaches are becoming quite common, and the third Guardian, the last bastion of hope, is already hovering over that pretty arc subclass. Some people have already figured it out, what was mathematically busted from the start, and it is only a matter of time before more figure it out. Triple Chaos Reach is the undisputed best team composition for Trials of Osiris. To start, we need to understand what makes Chaos Reach so strong, and I want to talk about 6 different bullet points when it comes to Chaos Reach. Tier 10 Intellect, Ionic Traces, Geomag Stabilizers, Orbs of Light, Early Cancel, and Counters. All 6 of these aspects combined make Chaos Reach one of the most overpowered things I have ever seen in Destiny 2. But if my video does blow up, and then you guys start seeing it all over the place, I'm sorry. Starting with Tier 10 Intellect. We can see that you get your super in 3 minutes and 48 seconds while using a light subclass, or 3 minutes and 56 seconds using a dark subclass. For simplicity's sake, let's just round both of these up to 4 minutes for easy maths. So at 4 minutes per super, that means 1 bar of your super, or 1/4, is equal to 1 minute of time before you adjust for things like kills. Additionally, 20% of your super, or 1/5, is equal to 48 seconds. That part will be a little bit more important later. This is how we can calculate our baseline times for acquiring Chaos Reach and make modifications as necessary based on the multitude of ways you can acquire your super more quickly while playing Chaos Reach. And this part is less talking about how broken Chaos Reach is, and more so giving us numbers that we can use to, down the line, explain why it's so broken. Let's move on to Ionic Traces, one of the perks within the Chaos Reach subclass tree. It reads, defeating enemies has a chance to create Ionic Traces. Collecting Ionic Traces grants energy to all of your abilities. Now, first things first. I want to look at the word chance, because in Crucible, this is not the case whatsoever. Chaos Reach creates these Ionic Traces on kills 100% of the time against Guardians, assuming you're the one who gets the kill, meaning your name is the one that pops up in the kill feed when they die. I would assume the chance part comes into play when you're fighting PvE enemies, but I can certainly say that if you kill a Guardian and are running Entombment of Control, you will spawn an Ionic Trace. These Ionic Traces are the first of many ways to get your super more quickly than other subclasses. Conservatively speaking, Ionic Traces look to give about as much super energy as half of a kill, meaning for every 2 kills you get, you actually get 3 kills worth of super energy. I know that might not seem like a ton, and by itself, it's really not. But when you compound it with everything else, you will see why this ends up being a problem. Geomag Stabilizers is where things really begin to get out of hand. Geomag Stabilizers allow you to gain extra super energy by sprinting. That sounds vague, so let me tell you what it actually does. Once you get to 80% of your super, you can sprint to charge up the rest. From 80%, it takes about 5 seconds of sprinting to get a full super. Remember how we talked about 20% or 1/5 of your super being equal to 48 seconds at Tier 10 Intellect? Well, with Geomags, you can turn that 48 seconds into 5 seconds, meaning from Geomags alone, you're getting your super 43 seconds more quickly than every other super in the game. And the cherry on top is that you don't even need to use geomags throughout the entire game. You can simply use a better exotic like Transversive Steps or Ophidian Aspects and simply switch to geomags once you get to 80% super. Then you can just sprint for the rest of your super and then switch back to whatever you were using before. With geomags and Chaos Reach, 80% of your super is basically equivalent to 100% of your super. I know every subclass and every super can make Orbs of Light, but most require at least 2 kills to make Orbs of Light. All roaming supers such as Dawnblade, Striker, Behemoth, Spectral Blades require at least 2 kills to make an orb. Chaos Reach makes an Orb of Light for every single kill. This doesn't help you get your super back any more quickly directly, but it helps your teammates get their supers faster, which means they can make their own Orbs of Light, and when you pick up their Orbs of Light, well, you get the idea. I want to be clear in that Chaos Reach making Orbs of Light is not what makes it stronger than other options. It's a super, and of course it should make Orbs of Light. What makes it stronger than other options is the fact that it makes 1 orb for every single kill, which is more than other supers make. It's minimal, yes, and by itself it's not a huge problem, just like the Ionic Traces. But like I said before with the Ionic Traces, many small advantages can lead to an insurmountable overall advantage. Now let's talk about super cancellation. Chaos Reach allows you to cancel the super by casting it a second time while it is activated. This typically gives at least 1/4 or 1 minute at tier 10 intellect of your super back to you, assuming you only use about half of it. Canceling it even earlier, like at 1/4, can give you up to 1/3 of your super back. But remember, we're being conservative with the numbers here, so let's assume the borderline worst case scenario and that when you cancel, you are getting about 1/4 of your super back. Oh, and side note, if you get killed while you are using Chaos Reach, you still get your super energy back. So, this is happening no matter what. If you combine this aspect of Chaos Reach with Geomag Stabilizers, that means while all other supers, even at the highest intellect possible, are getting their second supers 4 minutes after they cast their first, Chaos Reach is getting their second super back 4 minutes, minus 43 seconds thanks to Geomags, minus another 60 seconds thanks to early super cancel, for a grand total of 2 minutes and 17 seconds after they cast their first super, which is almost twice as fast. And that's not even accounting for extra super energy from Ionic Traces, extra super energy from a better early cancel, or extra super energy from Orbs of Light made from teammates on just 1 kill. Now, probably one of the most important aspects of this analysis, up with early cancel and Geomag Stabilizers, counters. At the end of the day, if Chaos Reach wasn't a very good super, none of this would really matter. But, well, it's probably one of, if not the best supers in the game. It has absolutely 0 hard counters. It can kill any roaming super with ease. You can activate it to break out of freeze, which means even if a Behemoth Titan or a Revenant Hunter gets the jump on you, you can still often end up winning the fight. The only thing that can really go toe-to-toe with Chaos Reach is other shutdown supers like Blade Barrage or Thunder Crash, and even then, you are lucky to just get a trade with them, which isn't even worth it considering how much more quickly they will get their second super compared to you. The only super that can truly take out Chaos Reach is Precision Golden Gun, and even then, your aim on Precision Golden Gun must be significantly more precise than the Chaos Reach, considering you have to click on their head while they just have to put the beam near you. This super can also do damage around corners and walls, as if it wasn't good enough already. Another option could be the Deflecting class and Arc Strider, the middle tree, and that would be a good thought.
It goes through?
Oh, it doesn't even care. I know what you might be thinking. Mac, you can snipe a Chaos Reach if you have really good aim, or beat it with your super if you outplay it, and yes, that is 100% true. But what is more likely to win in a Chaos Reach versus Sniper fight? Or a Chaos Reach versus Behemoth fight? Or a Chaos Reach versus a Dawnblade fight? I would put my money on the Chaos Reach. I understand that there are ways to kill it and beat it, but most of the time, a competent player is going to beat you in a 1v1 no matter what you are using if they have a fully charged Chaos Reach. And like I said before, the cherry on top is that they get their super about a minute before you get yours, and repeat supers about twice as fast as anyone else does before you even factor in orbs of light from their teammates using Chaos Reach and ionic traces. Now, why is this so much better in Trials compared to other game types? Well, Trials is elimination, which means if you are dead, you are dead. Killing someone on the enemy team and being able to hold that death and prevent them that res gives you a clear advantage in the form of numbers for the entirety of the rest of that round. Compare this to a mode like Clash or Control, where killing an enemy simply means you add 1 point to your score, they respawn, and you keep going. There is no continued advantage to killing someone in Clash that persists throughout the rest of the game. In Trials, one death can lead to an automatic lost round against the team that is worth their salt. They can team shoot way better than you because they have an extra gun alive, they can flank better than you can defend because they can attack from 3 different angles while you can only look back at 2 of them, and to top it all off, they are gaining super energy on 3 of their guardians while you are only gaining it on 2 of yours. To have an ability that can consistently and immediately kill someone on your team with ease, regardless of what super they have available to them, is everything when it comes to Trials. By having a team of 3 Chaos Reaches in Trials, you can chain supers together with the orbs of light they make on just 1 kill in conjunction with the early cancel, ionic traces, and geomag stabilizers to essentially get a free, easy, guaranteed, effortless pick on 1 person of the enemy team in every single round. After the first player gets their Chaos Reach in about round 3 or 4, you can essentially guarantee 3v2s for the rest of the game if you chain your supers together properly. And no other super can do this as consistently as Chaos Reach, due to everything mentioned before. You don't get other supers as quickly because there isn't anything like geomags, and you can't cancel them early to get some of your energy back. You don't have ionic traces, and to top it all off, you can't even guarantee that you will beat other supers, with the exception of Blade Barrage and Thunder Crash. But even those won't consistently beat a Chaos Reach. Absolutely nothing will. But how the hell did it get to this point? Surely it got some sort of massive buff, as if Warlock mains paid off Bungie devs to make their star-studded Gift of the Traveler feel like an anime superhero, right? Well, no, actually, not at all. In fact, the last documented adjustment to Chaos Reach was an update 2.8.0 made in March 10th, 2020, which was extremely minimal by increasing travel and turn speed of ionic traces and increasing the beam endpoint radius by a fraction of a meter. And what's more, this patch was made 3 days before Trials of Osiris was even reintroduced into Destiny 2 on March 13th, 2020. There is one other thing though. Allegedly there was a fix to Chaos Reach that came with the Beyond Light patch that made it so that if you die while in Chaos Reach, it counts as canceling it early and still gives you a portion of your super back, as if instead of dying, you just reactivated it to save a little bit of juice. Now, I can't find a single piece of documentation on the Beyond Light patch notes referencing this, but for funsies, let's just say that this was the case. Notice how the topic of dying still lets you keep some of your super was one that wasn't even a part of my top 6. There's a reason for that. I think that this little tweak was what made people try it out and notice how good it really was, but I don't believe for a single second that this specific adjustment is what made it good. I think it is what got the strength of Chaos Reach discovered, not what created it. And I think this might be the reason that it has started popping up now when it didn't before. Does this make the subclass stronger? Of course. Does it make it so much stronger to make it the best subclass in Trials of Osiris? I don't think so. And that's the hilarious part to me. This subclass has, for the most part, been completely untouched throughout the existence of Trials of Osiris and Destiny 2. It has always been this strong, even if no one knew about it. And I actually kind of love that fact about Chaos Reach. This strategy, if you could even call it that, of running 3 Chaos Reach Warlocks and just chaining supers to create a guaranteed 3v2 every single round has been a possibility within the game since the second that Trials of Osiris was released. And before you say anything, no, geomags have not been touched, like, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. At least, not that I can find anywhere in the patch notes. Chaos Reach has just been this hidden diamond in the rough all the time, and I think that's the reason that I love it so much, because it just goes to show you that the meta might not always be what you think it is. Who knows what else could be absolutely incredible in Trials, or in PvP as a whole, or even in PvE. For me, it opens up my desire to explore for new sleeper subclasses, guns, and strategies. I am so sorry if you start seeing triple chaos reaches in every single game now. It was not my intention, but people are already figuring it out, and I want to shine a light on exactly why it is too strong from an analytical standpoint. My hopes are that this will get brought into line and that this meta can be squashed before it can truly see the light of day. I don't want to run into triple chaos reach warlocks in every single Trials game and be damned to use it myself. I promise. But it is coming whether you like it or not. So instead of sitting here and waiting for it to be used by every single person in Trials, I thought I would do what I love and take a deep dive on something that I found interesting in Destiny in hopes that this analysis would show some people that this thing is simply too good. If you like these kinds of deep dives on Destiny topics and you want to see them more often, let me know. My name's Mactics and I really like making these kinds of videos. They are fun for me. I also talk about these topics along with doing Grandmaster Nightfall and Flawless or regular raid help on my Twitch stream linked in the description, where I am live every weekday at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can also give me suggestions on different topics that I should take a closer look at in future videos by joining my Discord server linked in the description and letting me know there. Thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed this deep dive, I would really appreciate a like on the video and a sub to the channel. I want to do this as a career, and simply clicking those 2 buttons does a lot for helping me get there. Thank you so much, and have a great day.